All right, today I'm going to show you a very common problem that confuses people when they're trying to use one of these lifts. So when you're trying to use a boom lift, what you have to do, of course, is you have to get these outriggers. Okay, all these outriggers have to be on the ground, and you've got to lift the tires up off the ground. So in this case, you can see that my tires are up off the ground. Yeah, let me get down there. Okay, tires are up off the ground. I have the machine level, and you can see that when you look at my levels here. Okay, you see I've got everything level. Wheels are off the ground. I'll even show you on this side. This one's off the ground. Okay, so everything looks like it should be working. I should be able to go up in the bucket, but watch what happens when I start the engine and try to actually use it. Okay, now I have to use two hands here, but I'm gonna press this. And you see, as soon as I press this button, you can hear the alarm going off. Now what's happening is that even though this outrigger looks like it's down, there's not enough pressure on it. See how this will move? Okay. Now it doesn't even have to be that loose, because every one of these has a pressure sensor on it. All right. Now what I have to do is I have to get enough pressure on every outrigger. Okay, now let's try that again. And now you see the alarm's not going off, okay? That beeping is just telling me that I can use it. All right, so I'm just shutting the engine off so I can not have to yell. But anyhow, every one of these outriggers, every one of these has a pressure sensor on it. And you have to have the wheels up off the ground, and you have to have enough pressure on every one of these outriggers to make sure that the machine is safe. If the machine doesn't think it's safe to use, it's going to howl at you and give you that alarm and tell you that you can't go up and use the machine. Okay, now the same thing can happen if one of these is just a little light. All right, so there's a certain pressure sensor that it's looking for. I don't know exactly what that is, but it's set by the factory. And there's a pressure that it's looking for to make sure that the machine's safe. So let's say I had this one down, but it wasn't down maybe as hard as it should be. And now I go up in the lift and I go that way, okay? That's gonna lighten up this side. And if I'm on the hairy edge of having enough pressure on these outriggers, and then I go that way, it's gonna lighten it up just enough where all of a sudden you say, look, the thing's working when it's down low, but as soon as I get it up high, it's no longer working. So what you have to do then is still go, well, it's a pressure problem. I gotta have enough pressure on every outrigger. So you're gonna have to come down and make that adjustment to make sure that A, you have the tires up off the ground, and B, you've got enough pressure on every outrigger to make the machine operationally safe. And it should go without saying that you're disconnected from the truck. If you're connected to your vehicle still, that's a huge problem. Never do that, all right? Before you ever start doing anything, you have to make sure you're disconnected from your vehicle, and then you can start operating the machine. Don't even put the outriggers down until you get off that tow vehicle, all right? You've got a brake here. Put your brake on. So put your brake on, get it off your tow vehicle, and then you can start to put the outriggers down, get enough pressure on them, get those wheels up off the ground, and then you can start to operate inside the bucket or, lifting it up off its base. All right? So that's a real important thing you have to make sure that you're doing with these machines. Get enough pressure on every outrigger so that when you go up in that bucket, you're safe.